Hello, and welcome back to another adventure of self-discovery. What a profound journey. Today, we will talk about your attitude and how it impacts your overall emotional health and well-being. We will talk about where your attitude stems from and how to purposely control having a positive attitude versus a negative attitude. So, first and foremost, what is the true definition of attitude? So, attitude has everything to do with the way you feel about something or someone. Have you ever heard that your attitude determines your altitude? This is a very true statement, but the question is, what determines your attitude? What determines the way you feel about yourself? How you feel about someone else or a life situation or something happening in your current life experience? So, your natural organic self is true unconditional love, and this is your attitude towards everything. When this is discovered from within, you cannot help but to allow it to abundantly flow out of you into all that you do. It is as though you can't help but to share. Your spirit prompts you to give it to the world, so you naturally share and incorporate this inner abundance of unconditional love in all that you do. This is when you are operating in your natural state, your conscious mind. You have a naturally positive attitude at all times, because your attitude reflects the unconditional love that you are from within. Your attitude doesn't fluctuate because you don't fluctuate. You don't have ups and downs. You're always the same, just like God. You see, you emulate the Creator's behavioral traits and attitude. Your inner state will always create your outer reality if you are deeply interconnected, meaning you are plugged into the power source of who you are from within. Then you have a high altitude potential level due to your attitude. However, if you are like most people and you haven't learned the operational mechanics of your brain and how to control the mind by observing and monitoring your mental and emotional state from within, then you are being controlled by the mind. This is the self-created identity which we call the ego. And the way that the ego operates is from judgment, perception, and interpretation, all based upon the past experiences that we have had, which is stored in a vast memory trace in the brain. You see, when you live like this, you are subject to psychosomatics. The definition of psychosomatics is what the mind does to the body. In other words, how the mind directly affects the body. Your thoughts directly affect your attitude, your emotions directly affect your attitude. It's never the thought itself and is never the emotion itself. It is how you feel about the thought, how you feel about the emotion that directly impacts your attitude as positive or negative, good or bad. A high or low level of energy in reference to your attitude. When you visually perceive and see someone or something, it alters your attitude as well. If you see something that you mentally and emotionally do not resonate with, it will directly impact your attitude to be at a lower level, which means this is a negative attitude that you will be displaying, a low energy level. Again, this is all based upon the subconscious mind, which creates the self, the false identity, the ego, the personality that you claim that you are, and have a full attachment to the personality that has the personal history attached to it. You are the personality, but you are much more than just a personality. You live a dual reality, the manifested and the unmanifested. Of course, the unmanifested is the absolute reality that you are. Everything else is a part of the dream that isn't ultimately real. To change your attitude, to always be positive, you always have to monitor and observe your mental and emotional states and only resonate with positive thoughts and positive emotions. And when you encounter other people outside of yourself, do not judge them as good or bad, allow them to be. Always keep good vibes, always have a positive attitude. This is a choice only if you choose to monitor and observe your mental emotional state. You have this choice. If you choose not to monitor your mental and emotional state, you have no choice with your attitude, and it will fluctuate between up, down, good, bad, happy, sad, etc. Everyone has the tendency to have bipolar personalities, where 1 minute you're happy and 10 minutes later you are sad. This transpires when you're not in control with what's going on within you. You have to be in the driver's seat. You have to live within, which transpires within you, determines which you create outwardly in the world for yourself and others. You either create heaven or you create hell. Your attitude determines your altitude. When you understand and you know that you are the formula for a life of unconditional love, and that you are interconnected to all that is by being able to feel this through every fiber of your being, and not just through intellectual understanding of this truth, your attitude will permanently transform to the greatest good, permanently and full time. This will wrap up today's lesson. We will continue our ongoing quest next week at the same time, same place. Please join us now by hitting the subscribe button.